The following is a fan-made podcast production. The Rolde players do not own or have any official involvement in the development and distribution of the Star Trek franchise. Star Trek Adventures is developed by Modiphius Entertainment, and the stories we tell are not to be taken as official Star Trek canon. Previously on Ex Astris. I'm your game master, your GM, Sawyer Paine.
Hi, my name is Courtney St. Gelais, and my pronouns are she and they, and I will be playing Executive Officer Commander Seikosha Yarin.
My name's Ian. I'm human, but playing a Klingon named Maegor.
Hi, my name is Chingwe Padraig. I use he, him, they, them, she, her pronouns. I am playing Lieutenant Commander to Orly, the eccentric, older Cation science officer.
Hi, I'm Emily Morcos. I am playing Lieutenant Commander to Vel, everybody's favorite touchy-feely Vulcan.
Final preparations are underway for our departure from Starbase 24 and the commencement of our maiden voyage. This Excelsior class, U.S.S. Eupraxia, is Starfleet's answer to questions raised by the foiled Kittimer conspiracy last month. Captain Spock enters the bridge of the U.S.S. Eupraxia, which is like that of most Starfleet vessels. The ship is suddenly rocked by something. And as all of you recover and kind of give looks around to each other of what the hell just happened, that's where we'll wrap part one. The ship is shaken, you are stirred, and Captain Spock, as soon as he composes himself, orders a status report. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should see what's going on in the bridge. So I'd
Very
like
good.
to connect to the bridge and, say bridge crew report.
Do we have communicators, or does the ship still have like the old-fashioned wall panel style communicators?
That's a good question.
It'll still have the old-fashioned wall communicators for right now.
There are the handheld ones at this time, though.
Or the handheld, but you probably wouldn't have them at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll just run up to the wall communicator and just ping up to the bridge. So, bridge, this is everyone important. What's going on up there?
No response.
I'm going to hit it and call engineering. Engineering,
that, but fine.
report.
No response.
I'm going to walk out the door and head to the bridge.
Okay.
I'm going to follow behind.
I'm going to walk out the door but head to engineering.
Do the doors open?
They do, yes.
Okay, so it's not a power issue. There we go.
Well, the lights are on.
Yep, the lights flicker. They are flickering.
Listen, it's an auditory medium, okay?
The lights are flickering. You did notice kind of as the ship was struck, you did hear the hum of certain systems kind of go down and then up again, as though multiple systems have been affected.
Okay. I'm joining the group heading to the bridge.
As you head out of the captain's dining room and into the main corridors, we call them, for lack of a better term, hallways, corridors, quarters. You notice that there are multiple crew members scrambling about, collecting their bearings, checking in on each other. Also, asking. I was going to say asking the communication, but punching in for communication and receiving nothing. But doesn't appear to be any fires, any damage of that sort. And as you make your way to the bridge, are all of you going to the bridge, or
No, I'm going to engineering.
you're going to engineering? Okay. So as Yarin to Orly and Maegor make for the bridge, turbo lift is fine. You enter the bridge, and Hackett turns around in his chair and says, "Oh, good. I thought something happened. We were trying to get in touch with you, but it seems communications are down."
Is Hackett and what is his rank again?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, report.
Well, it seems we got hit with something. We're not entirely sure what. Sensors appear to be on the fritz as well, but all systems apart from sensors and communications appear to be good.
Checking tactical shields and phaser power affected.
Yeah, go ahead and check those. They seem fine. Shields haven't taken a hit. Anything like that.
Are we going at impulse or warp?
We were at warp.
And are we still at warp?
We are still at warp.
Okay. I'm going to run over to the science console and see if I can make heads or tails of whatever this data is.
Lieutenant,
Okay.
did we drop out of warp briefly? We heard the engines change.
At that point, Eguy turns around and says, "There was a hiccup, sir, but we're fine.
What hiccup?
Speed was reduced. I managed to get it. I managed to wrangle it, to use the term. And
Stop
okay, yes, sir.
So, okay, real quick. Is comm still down?
To Orly, you want to give me a let's do a
General science check. Or
yeah, do
engineering.
a what is this? Are you trying to get the are you doing sensors? Or are you doing comms? What are you looking at?
I was going to do sensors.
Okay, we'll call that science and control.
Cool. Science
And as a quick reminder to those listening, Chingwe's going to use his science number and his control number, his control being his attribute, science being his discipline. That's going to create the target number, and he'll be able to roll 2d20 with the possibility of more if he so desires, but not in this case. And he wants to roll below that number.
I have a science, my control attribute is 7. My science discipline is 5, so that's a total of 12.
Okay.
That's a 7 and a 6.
So you've got 2 successes. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
And you are able to determine that this was a tetryon wave. This was tetryon particles. Interfered with systems throughout the ship. There were, and to what Eguy had said, systems throughout the ship went offline for just a hot second, but things have been wrangled, to use the word he attempted.
Does that imply any immediate danger? Like, do I know of any immediate effects tetryon particles have on mechanisms or organic material?
I don't think so, but I'm actually just going to do a quick... Hang on, I want to see if...
Everyone open up Memory Alpha.
Tetryon particles...
Well, I look up my talents, because I forgot that's a relevant thing that I might need to look at.
It appears that these are... They affect electronics and ships and technology more than they do humans, but in high enough concentrations, they can prove harmful to organic life, but apart from a few bumps and bruises,
okay,
nothing.
Doesn't from the information I have, doesn't seem like a high enough concentration to cause any
Correct.
immediate. Okay.
It seems it was a widespread sort of. It wasn't like a direct at any particular system. It was just sort of a wave that hit you.
And Now, this may just be a hunch, but something tells me tetryon particles are an naturally occurring phenomenon. But if someone could theoretically interfere and alter
Yes.
the direction of them.
Correct.
Okay. Can I see if I can determine the direction that they came from, whether, like, we flew into their path or they were directed towards us?
So what you're going to want to do for this
Mm-hmm.
is you are going to... I'm going to want a reason plus science from you.
Okay.
But since you're going to be using the ship's systems, the ship itself will assist you. So let me go ahead and pull up... That's what I wanted.
I do also have a talent that could be used in this moment.
Okay, what's that talent?
It is testing a theory. When you attempt a task using engineering or science, you may roll one additional d20, so long as you succeeded at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field in the same adventure.
Excellent. I'm just going to pull up the cheat sheet for a moment here,
Yeah.
so I know what to do with that. Traits, advantages, and complications. You have an advantage.
Also going to pull up the cheat sheet.
Reduces difficulty of task, cancels out a complication. So, because this is a difficulty 0 task, you don't need
I don't
to
actually need to
apply
roll.
your talent.
Oh, okay.
If you would like to, though, if you want to apply that and make that 3d20,
Sure.
I will count an extra success as momentum.
Fantastic.
By that same token, I will also count a failure as if it has an effect. I'll count that effect.
Okay.
As far as
This feels like a
the
pretty
ship goes,
pretty safe roll for this, as I have a reason of 10 and a science of 5.
true.
I'm
Okay, so assisting.
smart.
You're smart. Where's my
I want you to
assisting?
fail this roll.
Right? They're all going to be a 20.
Yeah, seriously.
The assisting with a task. Okay. So let's see here. Who do I want to? Emily, I've got something for you in a second. Courtney, if you want to pull up the ship's character sheet, it'll be within in character sheets. It'll be U.S.S. Eupraxia there.
Eupraxia, hold on. All right, in character sheets under starships.
Yep.
USS Eupraxia. All right,
Yep.
I've got that in front of me.
What I'm going to ask of you is a sensors plus science. That'll be 1d20.
Sensors plus science. So the sensors are is an 8, and science is a 2, so that's a 10. So I will roll a d20.
Should I still roll my 3d20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can
Rolling
use
them in my-
Chingwe's,
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me get some Foley.
Foley.
yeah, because I'm a lame
Rolling
person,
these
I have
into
my
a, for anyone who's interested, an 18th century replica Jazz Townsend glasses case is my dice
Very
box.
nice.
All right, that's 2 successes and 1 failure. That is a 10, a 7, and a 17.
And we have a 2 for
2. Perfect. So that counts
Eupraxia.
as 2 successes for Chingwe, 1 success for Courtney. We're gonna call that 1 momentum in the momentum pool. Cool.
Heck yeah, first roll of the game.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, while you're hashing that out, and I will give you the result of that in just a moment, Emily, you've made your way down to engineering, and there you are met with...
Mr. Parker,
Also-
report.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I got no idea what's going on.
You have no idea.
Well, I got one idea, but
And
that well,
that
well, I'll tell you.
is-
Sensors indicate that we got hit with a tetryon particle
So
wave.
we still have sensors. That is a start, Mr. Parker.
Yes, and I sense that communications are out, ma'am.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
anything
kinda-
out besides the communications, Mr. Parker?
Say that one more time.
Is
Sorry.
anything else out besides the communications, Mr. Parker?
I mean, I was out to lunch. I'm gonna stop talking and ask you to fix this, please.
All right, I'm gonna see what I can do to get communications back online.
Okay. So,
you want
as
a
you head
job
over-
done, you have to do it yourself.
That's exactly right, and I didn't want to take wait for. Never mind.
I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, okay.
This
Well-
guy's getting demoted so fast.
Hey, last time I saw you, you were a lieutenant. What happened? I had an idea.
I had an idea in front of a grumpy Vulcan.
And it wasn't a good one. Yeah. So as you head over to the communications station, you
So pull back the panel immediately.
you
See
found
if
it.
anything is physically fried. If it's mostly, something.
So what you see is not that it's fried. The system is still mostly intact. A couple fuses were blown, easy fix, but it seems like the entire communications grid was overwhelmed with some sort of signal that was far too big. Your knowledge of Federation history will remind you of another time something similar sort of happened. It was maybe 10 years ago when the whales came back to Earth, and the crew had to, of that ship in particular, which was the crew of the Enterprise at the time, had to figure out what exactly was sending the signal, what the signal was, and so in order to determine what this is, I'm going to ask you to attempt a control plus engineering task. And
Love that.
Maegor, Ian, if you want to be the ship again in this case, you're going to be using the ship systems. So if you will attempt communications plus engineering from the ship's character sheet, this is going to be a difficulty of 3. So together, you do make up the 3 d20 in question.
How many dice am I rolling for this one?
You start with 2.
Start with 2.
We do have 1 momentum if you'd like to use that to buy extra dice, or depending on how this goes, just know you have that, and if you'd like to make a change or something, we can talk about that.
So she's
All right.
rolling 2, I'm rolling 1.
Yes, sir.
All right.
My
I don't think I
target
need
is
momentum
12.
at this point. My target is 17.
17 and 12. All right, let's do it.
3.
10 and a 6.
Awesome. So 3 rolls, 3 successes, difficulty of 3. That's awesome. There is still that 1 momentum in the bank, but before we decide what to do with that, if we decide to do anything with that, let me tell you how this works. You were able to repair the degraded signal. You were able to at least make it decipherable, and as such, you can now decipher it if you so choose. And that's going to be another attempt at this. For Emily, I'm going to have you do insight plus science, and Ian, again, communications plus science.
So my target's a 10.
My target is 11.
Okay.
And 2 dice for me again.
I got a 9.
Nice.
All right.
Skinny of teeth.
Yeah.
That is 2 failures. 18 and a 15.
Okay. So let's talk about options here, because you got 1 success, 2 failures. It was a difficulty of 2. So we don't have enough to overcome that. However,
It's too late
momentum.
to use momentum to purchase a die
It is too late to use momentum to purchase a
It
die.
has to be beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
not after.
But hang on, let me see what we can do here. So momentum generally can be used to create an advantage, create an opportunity, create a problem, or obtain information. And I don't think we have enough. We've only got the one momentum. All right, we don't have any momentum for one of these spends because typically it starts at 2. So while you were able to get the communication system under control, you are unable to determine what this message was. It's completely scrambled and lost, which brings us back to
Briefly before we leave engineering, I just want to turn to Mr. Parker and say, Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Please dump as much non-core data that we have in the processors at the moment as you can, and bring as many auxiliary processors as you can online in case we should have another influx of data like that again. We'll have some place to put it.
He nods. I'm in. And he scurries away.
That's
All right, I'm going to make my way now to the bridge.
Okay.
That's some good trekking.
Bloody brilliant. Yes. Wow.
Good fucking Star Trekking. Hell yeah.
I'm here to like shoot and stab things.
I'm here to press a button, say something funny. That's what I do.
Well,
Emily's
you're still
actually
waiting.
solving problems.
An ounce of prevention.
I'm not gonna attempt the hailing whistle. I'll throw in a sound thing there. But you get the woo, the bosun's whistle. That's what it was. And you get that, and from the bridge you get Spock. Report, engineer.
Bridge, this is Lieutenant Commander Tabell down in engineering. Communication has been restored. We have just received a massive influx of data. We are trying to prepare here in engineering in case another one should follow. Is there any indication from the bridge of what caused it?
And you hear a pause, some talking, and then Spock returns to the console. We are determining the cause now. Bridge out.
I'm on my way back to the bridge. I'll be there momentarily.
Acknowledged.
Mr. Hackett, is there any other vessels within any type of range from us? At the moment the influx occurred.
And he looks at his console. Negative, sir. We are alone in space.
Are we near any planets, moons, asteroids that could house any devices?
And to that, we'll actually turn to Torley and resolve that role. And as you prepare to give that, we've got Tavel returning to the bridge. So, what you were able to find as you gave us that sensor roll, you were able to determine, and remind me, it was a full success, correct?
Yes, I got 2 below the line, 1 above, and then Courtney, as the ship, got 1 below the line as well. So I believe
Gotcha.
that was 3 successes.
3 successes for a difficulty of 3. Lovely. So, what you were able to determine is that, yes, the ship's hull shows residual tetryon particles that indicate that the ship passed through a massive tetryon wave or burst of some sort. And per Hackett's question, the Abasa system, which is approximately 12 light years away, lies directly in the path from which that wave originated.
Torley just turns in his chair and goes, Captain, Mr. Maegor, I believe the Tetryon wave that hit us came from right here. And I pop a few buttons on my console and pop a star map up onto the main view screen with the Abasa system highlighted.
Do we know anything about this system?
I personally don't. I've never been here before, but I'm sure someone has to. It's on our maps.
Spock just raises an eyebrow.
That wasn't a personal question. I'm realizing that now. I'll do some searching through the library database.
Thank you. You can't write this shit. Except you can. I'm reading it. So what you're able to determine that the Abassa system is a G-type star located within Federation space. It's just this side of the neutral zone.
Oh shit! So barely. Okay.
Barely. Yep.
Klingon
Neutral
or
zone with
Romulan?
exactly with the Klingons or the Romulans.
Romulans, actually.
Well,
God, there's so
Kind
many
of
fucking
on that
neutral zones.
nice little place where Romulan neutral zone and Klingon neutral zone sort of it's a weird
Is this like a
sector
three-way
space
neutral zone?
kind of. Well, not
Fuck.
really. There isn't like a three-way neutral zone per se.
Gosh,
but like,
I hate that place.
it's. I went there for vacation once. It was terrible.
All the drinks are overpriced.
It's all Romulan ale. I'd like a Coke, Romulan ale. I'd like a root beer, Romulan ale.
Don't even try going to their Little Riza. You wouldn't think it was a chain restaurant at all.
And someone complained. They were dragged out back. I never saw them again. But yes, the system has 11 planets, but only Abassa 7 lies in the habitable zone. It's got 3 moons, and from space, the planet has a violet hue. And as you relay this, you can see it up on the screen there. It's a Class M world, so it's like Earth. It's Earth-like atmosphere. Has very little vegetation, nothing more than lichen. It's not great for colonization. And approximately 95% of the planet is covered in an ocean, which is the color, of amethyst.
Mr. Orley, are there any notable mineral deposits?
That is a very good question. I found a lot of the sociological background, and by that I mean there's very little. But I can look into that next. That's a very good idea. Thank you, Lieutenant. Commander. I'll do that. Do I find any
You do.
easily
The
available
surface- the
information, or do I
surface-
need to like scan?
No, we will be scanning later, I promise. But right now, you're able to determine that yes, the surface area is completely crystalline.
Oh fuck. Okay. So, yes.
Single cell.
I literally turn around and go, yes. It's yes. It's the whole planet is just sort of one big mineral interest, really.
particularly of deuterium.
Particularly of deuterium.
Which I pause as though anybody knows what that is.
I know that's a big thing, right? That's not.
It's a hydrogen isotope used as fuel for the matter-antimatter reactions in starships.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's there.
Very important.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And so yeah, that's what you are able to report.
Do we know any history about deuterium in regards to either the Klingons or the Romulans in this area? Have there been any no, there's no history around
We
any
know
of
they
this?
all value it, but I think it's this system is close enough to the neutral zones that no one really. It's kind of a, if one person goes to this planet, everyone else is kind of take notice of it.
It's in Federation. This planet is in Federation space. Is there any mining operations, any facilities in that system?
And Spock kind of looks on his console and he says, "Nothing licensed, no."
I think to mine on a planet so close to both neutral zones would be viewed as antagonistic, despite its locations within the Federation borders.
Could be antagonistic. Could also be opportunistic. If you are a lone operator, you theoretically have interest or protection from neither side if someone starts a fight over your very pretty rocks.
So are you then proposing that this is a private entity? There could be a private entity being shadow supported by one of the governments?
I'm not implying support. I'm just theorizing.
Of course.
Implication.
I hope for all of our sakes it's a private entity, not
Spock steps in and says, implication does not serve us here. We know that a Tetryon wave has damaged our ship. We know that it has originated at that point. It is illogical to speculate further. It would be more logical to investigate. Mr. Eguy, please set a course for Abassa 7.
This is not plot important, but can our consoles send text messages to other consoles?
They can. I'm going to say yes.
This wouldn't be the 23rd century if they couldn't, right?
I like
LOL decalithium.
I just like casually tap out a message on my console, and it just I think it pops up on Tavel's console. It's just, I don't think the boss likes me.
As stated, speculation is unhelpful. Return message.
You get not like an emoji, but like an actual typed out frowny face in response.
Tavel's head simply swivels over to the science station, expressionless.
I am looking at sensor data. It looks like I'm so deep in my work.
And my head swivels back to my console.
That's all I wanted to do. I just thought that'd be fun.
Meanwhile, Spock sends one to Yarin saying, these people are weird. No,
We're all just sending text messages across the ship. There's this entire subplot happening of
We're going to get to like episode 8 and everything's going to blow up because somebody misinterpreted one of these things. And so Abassa 7 is about 12 light years from where we are. It will take some time. As such, this is a wonderful opportunity to take care of any shipboard business you may have, continue any conversations that might have been sparked over dinner, perhaps finish whatever dinner was sparked over conversation. As I don't believe the dining room has been cleaned up as yet.
I would like to just go and check on what the status of the deuterium is in our own engine room, since we're going to be in the area. I would also like to inspect a bit of our deuterium just to...
Oh, smart.
So that when we get presumably down to the planet, as I'm assuming that I will have a chance to see what they have in their world, I will be able to do a quick comparison of quality.
Sure. So as you head down to engineering, you pass by Parker, who, for once in the short time you've known him, seems rather engaged in his work. And as you
satisfied,
and he just gives you a nod of thanks. He's embarrassed himself enough today.
He gets a nod in return.
Oh, and he kind of nudges his coworker, who just gives him a "what the fuck, get back to work" face. And and as you head into the engine room proper, you are met with another one of your crew members, Ensign Kelly Travis, who is a human, and she's looking over the warp core. She's looking over her pad, and as the doors swish open and you enter, she turns to you and says, "Oh, sorry, you caught me as I was working. Ensign Kelly Travis reporting for duty, ma'am."
Ensign, please extract a sample of our deuterium for me.
Right away. And she operates the mechanism. She operates the mechanism. And
very deftly.
Euphemism.
Rather adeptly. Pulls out just enough of a sample of the deuterium, and she's able to cover it and kind of put it on the workstation, and present it to you and say, "As requested, ma'am."
I simply take it and turn around and head to a workstation.
Great. What exactly do you want to do with it?
I just want to get a really good sense of its quality, so that if I see other deuterium, I will have a good sense of comparison.
Sure. Okay. To do that, I'm going to say engineering and insight. It's a difficulty 0. You've looked at this type of thing many times before. But 2d20 with your task number, or your target number, excuse me.
14.
Okay.
I want to take a picture of this because I rolled 2 14s.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
I literally rolled 2 14s.
And Ty goes to you. Yeah, you're able to inspect this deuterium using the equipment on board, and yeah, it seems like your standard deuterium. It's not like specialized. It has nothing's really been done to it to set it apart from other Starfleet regulations deuterium. But it's of good quality, and of sufficient quality to see the Eupraxia through just about anything right now.
And quantity is good as well.
Quantity's good. Yep. It wasn't affected by the deuterium. Excuse me. It wasn't affected by the tetrions at all. Only the systems themselves went down for a hot second, but the deuterium element itself is stable and sufficient. Yeah.
I will return my sample to Ensign Travis and just hand it to her wordlessly and leave.
She just kind of stares after you like, yes, ma'am. And it's just like, got it. Gotcha, good.
And I'm going to go eat my dinner.
That's, I assume, not outspoken.
Not spoken.
Okay. And so with that, Chingwe, you put up a finger.
Sorry. I also had a thought of something to do unless we wanted to move. Okay.
Please. We have time.
To Orly, like, grabs whatever the very early version of pads that they have are and starts, like, downloading any library information on this star system and anyone who's come through it regularly. But then he also, pings down to the science lab and calls up, or at least wants to call up Pranica to see if he can get him to look into what it would take to fuck with / modify tetrion particles and who theoretically would have that technology. And then once I have my information on my pad, Orly's going to wander on over to Maegor on the bridge.
Okay. Let me see if I can get that information for you.
So, like, I'm also, like, imagining it's a, like, Pranica, find me this information. Like, I don't need it right now. So, like, do as deep a dive as you need to.
Go ahead and just give me a reason plus science.
Okay. I will say I do have a focus in history.
I will give it to you.
Okay. Though it's literally just history, which might be too vague. So if you want me to in the future, maybe define that a little bit more.
Sure.
But.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and actually, I don't think it's going to be needed, but go ahead and add it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make that a what should we call that? We'll call that a difficulty. Call it difficulty 1.
Okay. So you said reason and.
I said reason and science. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And the focus just means that if I hit my attribute, or no, it means if I hit my discipline number, that's a doubles the success, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, and I'm just rolling 1?
2, but it's a difficulty of 1.
2.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I failed. I have a reason... Did I? Yes, I have a reason of 10 and a science of 5. So that's 15, and I got a 19 and a 20. So
okay.
I know jack shit.
So you don't learn anything...
The 20 is like a complication, though, isn't it?
20 is a complication. You got a 20?
That's a good point.
I did.
20 is a complication.
Do I learn that out? The wrong things? Do I learn misinformation and propaganda?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. But what Pranica is able to send you is that the nature of these particles, as you said, are of natural origin. They can be artificially generated. As you had discovered earlier. He is able to determine that the dispersal pattern of the wave, now that he's been able to take a look at it, does suggest that it was artificially generated.
Okay.
He also, kind of as a note, kind of a footnote, says that he's unaware of really anybody in the Klingon Empire dabbling in that sort of thing. It's possible, but if we're dealing with either of the two other major powers, his thought is Romulan.
Okay. That's scary. Okay.
But he does quickly add, like, I don't know for sure. Just a thought. Because we're BFFs. Smiley face.
Yeah. I text back a thumbs up, and I just assume that there is a Starfleet logo emoji.
There has to be.
So I just text back a thumbs up and the logo emoji. Good Starfleeting.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
then
boss.
I unless Ian, you'd like to do something specific, Torley sort of gets up and wanders on over to Maegor.
No, I can do it later. Yeah.
Mr. Maegor,
Yes, Commander.
how's your first day going?
More eventful than I anticipated.
Me too. I was not expecting. Well, I wasn't expecting. Gah.
Yes.
Are you?
Did you enjoy it?
I did, actually. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was wondering if you had recommendations for recipes, restaurants, that sort of thing.
Restaurants.
Well, listen, a lot of my information about the Empire is secondhand. I don't know what your fine dining experiences are like, other than what I hear through official Federation channels, which I generally take to be more hearsay than the actual truth.
At this, Spock just gives Yarin or Seikosha just a sidelong glance of, oh boy.
I return that glance in kind.
Yeah. Like, you know him well enough by now to know that underneath that stern Vulcan facade, his eyes are like, oh shit, what?
A very subtle nod as well along with that.
Yeah.
And I turn my attention back to whatever is about to happen.
Yeah.
I would also just like the image while they are having their conversation about Gah, Tavel is all alone in the dining room, just like eating the last of it.
I'm getting there, all right? I'm coming. Just, I don't know when you'll be able to come to the home world, but we'll see if we can give you they're still using chefs at this point. Right? There's no replicators quite yet, right?
I think there's like basic food replicators.
Early, yeah, they're not nearly as advanced yet, but
I think the chef might use a replicator to assist in producing food for everybody, but
I know
not,
Discovery
like,
had
sole dependence.
food replicators, but it was also like the most advanced ship in the fleet.
yeah, we're approaching, but not quite there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what.
Like a chef can use it to make ingredients.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, we can find some recipes to give to the mess, but
That'd be fantastic. There's not enough.
If you liked Gokt, I mean, I'm really more of a rocked man myself.
Rocked? What is rocked?
It's a different kind of worm.
That sounds fantastic. I love eating worms.
Well, we'll have to find a good recipe then.
That'd be great. There's not enough food for carnivores on Federation ships. They forget that there are some species out there that do just eat meat.
Well, we must find a good targ and roast him.
That sounds amazing. I will have to take you up on that at some point.
Seikosha looks over. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Seikosha looks over to Spock and like does a like this is going kind of well kind of look, but without saying anything.
Spock just nods.
And attention back over.
Commander, though, before well, I do want to make it. Well, how much time do we have before we get to this place?
A few more hours, as yet.
Well, I do want to go finish some of my food, and also I should review the security personnel on this ship. I've not had a chance to review them yet.
Understood. Don't let me keep you. I know an exit when I should take one.
If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, though.
No, absolutely.
If you can find any connection between deuterium giving off these tetryon particles in any way, any connection between the tetryon and the deuterium, and if you can find any other scientific use for the deuterium besides warp engines.
That is a very, very good thought. I will look into that. Oh, I should probably let you know. Actually, I should probably let everyone know on this on the bridge. I did look into. I had my second in command. He's really great. His name is Harrison. Look into the tetryon particles and who can artificially. These tetryon particles were artificially created. We looked into who could do it, and Mr. Maegor, unless there are maybe state secrets you're willing to give up on the bridge of this ship, we think it's probably the Romulans.
At this, Spock, do Vulcan ears perk up? I don't know. But they do.
They get slightly pointier.
They sort of, twitch backwards a little bit.
Yeah. He says, that is quite the assessment, Mr. D'Orly.
I can't take credit for it. It was all Harry's work. But I'll let him know you said so.
Indeed. Now, is this just speculation, or do you have hard evidence to suggest that the Romulans have a base this side of the neutral zone and are using them to disrupt our engines?
I think, sir, that would go perhaps just a bit far into the realm of speculation, as you've pointed out previously. However, from the information that my science team has gathered, it could be within the realm of their technological possibility.
I will also say, although it is usually the Romulans, we just lost Praxis. The Empire is in need of energy. So I hope for all of our sakes, my people aren't involved. And I walk away. I head to the lift and I go eat my dinner.
Spock is going to turn to Seikosha and say, Commander Yarin, you have the con. And he will depart the bridge.
I go back to my console and I yet again text Tavel, I don't think the boss likes me.
I am not at a station at the moment. I am just finishing up my now cold meal and heading back to my quarters.
You eat salads anyway. You're Vulcan. That's all you eat.
I just ate a plate full of gach, so...
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting development.
Diplomatic necessity.
Maegor, Tavel, is Tavel still in the room finishing off that gach as Maegor enters, or?
We can say I'm just heading out the door as he heads in.
Okay.
And very clear that I'm not going to stay to, be dinner company.
I guess Maegor enters to find. Does he find gach, or have you eaten all of it?
There's a couple sad little worms, sitting in the bottom of the bowl, but
yeah. What else do we have on this spread here?
Yes.
Is there a lasagna sitting right by it?
Sure. Yeah, we got humans on board. A guy loves a lasagna.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sample a little bit of some of the other stuff, and it's we eat more than gacht.
This lasagna is a warrior's meal.
Yeah. We don't just eat. We don't just eat gacht.
God. All right. Shall we take a quick break?
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Hey everyone, this is Sawyer Paine, your game master and your favorite lasagna maker. I don't know if that makes sense yet, but if it doesn't, it will. Thank you so much for listening to our second episode. Just a few quick notes before we continue. First, we had some mixed responses to the whole ad thing in the first episode, so we've gotten rid of those, won't be doing any of that. Platform automated ad stuff from here on out. If we do an ad, it'll be something that you or someone has reached out to us about, and we've been able to say, yep, looks good. Second, if you want to get involved with the Rolde players, you can do a few things. You can leave us a rating and review. That'll help us a bunch. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Patreon at the Rolde Players. That's the old-timey spelling. YEROLDE EPLAYERS. And most importantly, you can tell people you know. We've already got a shout out to our patron, Christopher Evans, who I kind of really hope is Marvel's Chris Evans, but we love you regardless. We really appreciate you. And third, if you, dear listener, do decide to become a patron and you wind up going for something like having an NPC named after you, just please know that we try to run a few episodes ahead of schedule, so if you don't hear your name for a few episodes, please don't worry, we haven't forgotten you. I think that's it. Back to the episode. Bye. Well, we'll start with Seikosha. You have the con. What do you want to do with it now?
So I'm assuming Spock leaves the bridge.
Spock has departed the bridge. He's left the building. Yep.
So Seikosha is sitting in the captain's chair, and all she can hear is a grumble. It's like an audible grumble, like probably loud enough that other people might hear it too. And she realizes she's really still fucking hungry. So she looks around and looks over to Lieutenant Hackett, who's still on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Lieutenant Hackett.
Aye.
Are you currently indisposed?"
No.
Wonderful. Why? I'm still hungry. I need to go finish my dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trusting...
Yeah. Please, go. Fill up.
Wonderful.
Fill it up. Fill up the tank. He leans over to hey, guys, it's an old human expression. It'll catch on.
Why is everyone on this crew the most awkward person?
Right.
Is that
fantastic?
in
Starfleet
character?
If that was in character, that was Torley looking at his own reflection in his console.
Why?
Seikosha just takes a moment and just goes, "Yep, I will. Don't crash the ship." And then
I won't. Might. Just goes, "I've already." As you head out the bridge, they're arguing about what happened at Space Dock. And yeah, and you head to the dining room, where you find Maegor chowing down on some lasagna.
Yeah. I'm going ham on this food, but when I hear the door open,
you just have a full pan in front of you.
What's up? A whole ham?
Whole pan.
Whole pan. Yeah.
I heard ham. Yeah.
So I'm going at this food like a Klingon, but when I hear the door open, I just kind of just sit up and start eating like a person.
and I'll
the audience can't see your hand motions.
Yeah.
So visually, Seikosha sees this movement of hunched over and shoveling to sitting up. Audible. I'm going to audibly describe what you just did physically on the Zoom call. From shovel to some sort of
Sit
sitting up,
up, be more
dainty,
proper.
Seikosha knows it's kind of restrained.
Yeah.
And she walks in. She's like, no, don't stop on my account. I'm about to do exactly what you're doing right now. And she sits on the other side of the table and grabs, what kind of food is on here? Can I just make it up?
Yes.
Ahem. She grabs a very large, deep dish. She grabs the other lasagna on the other side. One was eggplant and one was meat. She grabs the eggplant one, and she just starts going to town on the lasagna. What when you drink and it's drink for drink, but it's scoop for scoop.
Just no utensils, just hands in the dish.
Well,
and
no.
No knife and fork, just two forks.
Yeah, she's double forking.
Double fork.
She's really hungry. It's been a very stressful time. She's she's solving her problems with food and booze, but we're using food tonight. So yeah, she's just going to town on another lasagna, just
Excellent.
Eating in silence, waiting for someone to say something.
Well, Commander, I'm I'm glad I can drop the formalities around you a little bit, at least. I did not have a chance to open the blood wine that I brought. Well, one of the barrels. Would you care for a glass?
I've never had blood wine before.
Well, this is a perfect time to try. So I crack open this barrel. It's like a little keg, a little personal keg.
like a barrel, like a Saint Bernard.
And kind of pop open the top, and there's some glasses here, so I just dunk them in, and I fill your mug, and pass it over. Well, what shall we toast to?
Let us toast to deep space and deep dish lasagnas.
Is that what we're eating?
Oh yeah. This is a deep dish lasagna. I've never had blood wine. You've never had deep dish lasagna. Mixing of worlds and cultures. Let us toast.
All right. Clink.
Kapla.
Kapla. Yes.
And then before I drink it, I look over to you, Maegor, and I'm like, so, is there blood in this?
Yes. It's blood wine.
No, I know, but, like, how much blood? Like, I'm gonna drink it, don't get me wrong, but, like, how much blood? And whose blood?
It's animal blood.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't know.
And
animal
I
blood.
Can't say for sure how much. You'll take it.
Is that like the Klingon version of proof?
I think so. It is 9%.
9% blood.
It's either alcohol, like pure alcohol, or blood, and it's just
Yeah.
how much of either.
And so, from hearing that it's not like human blood, it's animal blood, she goes, yeah, I don't care how much anymore, I'll drink it. And then takes a big old swig. Is it canon that, like, blood wine is kind of, like, fiery? And, like, what did we decide blood wine tasted like last time? Because we had this conversation,
I think
didn't
we
we?
said it was sort of like iron-y.
Irony?
Yeah.
Metallic-y, tangy, yeah.
And
I feel like
very
it's got like a
alcoholic.
tang, metallic-y thing. I mean, the problem is, like, with people in the real world
Yeah.
creating Star Trek inspired drinks.
Real world.
Like
real
blood
world.
wine is a cocktail. It's like straight liquor. But like,
Oh, but we've just established there's straight up blood in this.
Oh, yeah.
So, a metallic, that it's our canon.
yeah, it's
Our canon now.
I'd say
Taking
like
it for ourselves.
probably tastes like a blood, not so much wine, but like a beer, like a like a malty blood, metallic-y.
Delicious.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably pretty rich.
Okay, so I take a big old swig and I take a burp, and I'm like, that works really well with the lasagna.
Well, you pair reds with Italian food.
I see. Oh, Maegor, you've made yourself aware of some human customs then.
Yeah, as I've tried to do a bit of studying. I was
humans
honestly
fascinate me. Go ahead. Yes.
I was honestly expecting more humans to be on this ship.
Yeah. No. You and me both. I studied humans for a bit as well. I was ready. The lasagna I was looking forward to, but no. Where are all the humans? That's a great question.
Starfleet has always come across as a very human-centered organization.
This is true. Well, our ship seems to be the exception to that rule.
I wonder if it was intended to be just on my account, or if this is a broader project that Starfleet has in mind.
I take another big old swig of the blood wine.
As you do, the ship is once again
shit.
rocked by something, and
blood wine spits out of my mouth all over the table.
All over your uniform.
All over my uniform.
And
Which thankfully is red already.
yeah,
Exactly.
and
Can I spit one thing out?
Yep.
When I say that, I say, "What was that about speculation?" From what we were just saying.
and you hear over the comm, "Bridge to Commander Yarin.
Yes.
Hackett here. You might want to get up here, Commander."
Okay. Yep. I'll be there in a second. Maegor, would you like to accompany me?
Yes, Commander.
All right. We're not done with this conversation, and I run up to the bridge.
And when you get there, what you see on the view screen are about 4 or 5 small fighter craft. And Hackett turns to you and says, "Commander, we got company."
Vel, also feeling the rock of the ship, will have beelined back towards the bridge. She was heading towards her quarters and she just turned around and went, "Nope."
I say to Hackett, I'm like, "Thank you, Lieutenant. I would like to go on Are we at tactical alert? Is that a thing we can do?
Tactical or red alert, yeah, whatever.
Great. I guess since Spock's not on the bridge
Yellow
yet.
alert is also an option.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Read alert.
Oh!
I would have
Sorry.
gone read alert.
Who's Malcolm Reed? I've never heard of Star Trek Enterprise, and I am choosing to live that life.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay,
Those
so I sit
people are
on.
heroes to Orly.
I get
They're
up
not
to the bridge.
canon, and you know it, Tavel.
And I think by this point, we've all made our way back to the bridge.
Yes.
Great.
Paul was my great grandmother.
Timing.
Yeah, because all Vulcans have to be fucking related, don't they? God forbid we introduce new people.
I'm sitting. I sit at the captain's chair. I say, "Okay, yellow alert, Ensign Hackett. What? I'm sorry, Lieutenant Hackett. Yes, we have company. Can somebody tell me what else is going on? How did they get here? How long have they been here?
Did they fire on us?
Report." Well said, Maegor. Report everyone here.
And Hackett kind of, you can tell for all his bravado, he's never really been in this situation before. So he's like, "Well, we dropped out of warp in the Abasa system per instructions, and we were about to start scanning when they came out from behind one of these moons and started firing. I think it was a warning shot because they haven't done anything since, and they are still not doing anything." And he looks at the view screen, and yeah, they're just sitting there.
Lieutenant.
Yellow alert. Yep. And he hits
Yellow
the button.
alert. Have we tried hailing them?
No, we have not.
Let us try hailing them.
That was my thought too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Torley.
Torley goes to press the button.
When you do, and you open hailing frequencies, and on the screen, you are faced with an Orion. He's a big green dude, bald. He's got little metal bits in his face, weird little Orion decorations and ornamentation, and he just kind of stares you down and says, "Incoming vessel, you are ordered to retreat. Go back where you came from. You're not wanted here."
I say, this is Commander Seikosha Yarin of the starship Eupraxia. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Grell.
Grell.
Yes,
Okay.
Grell.
I was so prepared up until that point. I'm like, how does this work? Okay. Why have you fired upon us?
Because you're in our territory. I suggest you leave it.
To my knowledge, this is Federation territory. What claim do you have upon this base?
Because I said so.
You see, Grell.
While this
no,
is
back that
happening,
up.
can I surreptitiously scan their ships for defense and offense information?
Well, I think would that be my
that would be your
territory?
territory. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was just about to do.
Yeah, you-
Do it up.
That's a good idea. You should do that. And to Grell, I will say, there must be some misunderstanding. Perhaps we can open up a dialogue between yourself and Starfleet. Are you familiar with Starfleet?
Yes, I'm familiar with Starfleet. And if you want a dialogue between myself and Starfleet, I think we're already doing that, and I'd like it to end, and I'd like you to go away.
Can I step beside you, Commander Yarin?
Yes.
With your permission, Commander.
Yes.
Grell, our ship has been under assault first by some Tetrion being that we have come to investigate. Have your ships suffered any similar damage from such a Tetrion beam?
No.
Have you any idea what might have caused such damage to our vessel?
No.
As you might understand, we are keen to investigate the source of this damage.
Yeah, and I'm keen you should go away.
As this line of questioning is happening, I'm texting.
Yes.
I'm texting Maegor, and I'm asking him if he's found anything on the scan. So this is
way ahead of you, Commander. So, like, what do Sawyer? What am I doing?
Go ahead
Excellent question.
and roll me a. I'm going to do security. What do we call it? Security? I'm going to do.
Feels right.
Yeah, let's do security and insight.
14.
Okay.
I roll 2 d20s.
Yes, sir.
12 and 11.
Cool. So from this, you are able to determine that these are, when I say inexpensive, I mean they are expendable. They are, they're designed as escorts in planetary defense, but this is not something that was heavily invested in. You know, they're good for quick dogfights, but mostly they're not going to stand up to even a fraction of a starship's relative might, let alone the full power of the Eupraxia.
Would they even be able to do any damage?
Not really.
While this is continuing, can I say that I've sort of seen this over the commander's shoulder, like
I just tilt my like little tablet thing to show you, like, well, yeah.
I'm sure, Grell, that you understand how seriously the Federation regards any damage or anything that is regarded as a threat to one of its vessels. Correct?
Makes sense.
And I think that you understand logically that if we are not permitted to investigate, that there may be more Federation vessels that will come to assist us, since this is our territory. That makes logical sense to you, doesn't it?
He winks out after he closes the channel.
Are we at the planet?
Yeah, we're there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna see if while that conversation was happening, I could do a scan for the Tetrion particles and see if I could pinpoint where on the planet. So if need be, we could just fly right past them directly.
Sure.
To the source.
So as all of this conversation is happening, kind of in the background to Orly, you are go ahead and scan that planet. You're gonna do a
Is that another science and reason?
use the ship sensors. Yeah, go ahead and do reason and science.
Okay. How many D20?
It's gonna be just two.
Just 2. Fantastic. Let's get under a 15. That's a 2 and a 1.
Okay. Oh, 1. Very good. So that counts as 2.
Nice.
That gets us a momentum.
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
add some momentum there.
Because we changed scenes, right? So the momentum from earlier is gone.
Correct. So you've got one now. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so we need to use that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That doesn't.
Every
that
time we
doesn't,
change scenes, we lose the momentum that we gain.
Okay.
Correct.
So it's an encouragement to use it.
Yep.
Calculated.
So what you're able to determine there is, yes, the oceans do have a high mineral content. Lots of deuterium there. Nothing really to do with tetrions. Some traces, but not in an immense amount of a quantity. But you also do pick up, not that you were scanning for it, but it does show up in the scans. There's a little refinery of sorts. What appears to be a deuterium refinery on one of the small crystalline islands in the southern hemisphere of the planet.
I forward this information to the rest of the senior staff. I quickly create a group chat and forward the information.
Well,
he's off screen.
Oh, that's right.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, by the time we've done that,
I
we've
will
gone.
turn to Commander Yarin and just say, Commander, I hope you don't feel that was too forward.
Absolutely not, Lieutenant Commander. Excellent insight into the interaction. You proved yourself most helpful. I greatly appreciate it.
I would hate to interject myself.
Not at all.
Commander, I think it's something to point out that while these fighters on their own pose no threat to the ship, if we get hit with another Tetrion wave that critically disables our systems, then we would be vulnerable. We should be cautious.
I have made some provision for that in engineering that hopefully will be adequate to the strain.
Excellent.
I think I may have located the place on the planet that the signal came from. It's the only artificial construction I could find, which also makes me think it's what these ships were protecting. There is I would presume, a deuterium refinery on the planet. I can forward the exact coordinates. It also seems to me that if these ships came from anywhere, that would be where, unless there's some ship here already we haven't detected somehow.
And on that subject, you receive a hailing frequency.
Well, I'm going to go down to the mess hall and eat my own words. We're being hailed.
On screen.
And the screen opens up again, and instead of Grell the Orion, there is a Romulan. She's not in uniform. She actually looks more like an administrator than anybody else. And you can tell she's a Romulan.
Have shoulders that go out.
She doesn't have the shoulders.
Off the screen.
Yeah. And you can tell she's a Romulan.
A little forehead V.
Yep, there's two things that give her away. She's got just the very slight ridges on the forehead that differentiate most Romulans from most Vulcans. But even if you weren't looking for that, the thing that gives her away as a Romulan is the moment she's in contact with you, she smiles and says, "Hello, Starfleet."
This is Commander Seikosha Yarin of the U.S.S. Eupraxia. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with now?
Oh, yes, of course. Manners. I'm so sorry. Used to dealing with Orions, you see. No manners. Not a single manner amongst the lot of them. My name's Lishka, and I'm the overseer on this planet.
Well, Lishka, as we approached the area, we were fired upon by one of your men. We hope that this isn't something that would occur again.
No, Grell's a sweetheart, but he's Oh, so you've got a Klingon on board. He's like a Targ, to use the Klingon animal. You know, he's loyal, growls a lot, but he obeys. So we won't be having any of that again.
I see. We are here, Lishka, right?
Yep, Lishka, that's me.
We are here, Lishka, investigation of a Tetrion wave that was emitted from this location. Do you have any insight as to why such a beam, wave, I don't remember, would have emitted from this location?
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly, Commander. Tetrion?
Yes. Are you unfamiliar with the term?
I know what they are. I don't know why you'd be here. We've had no issues with Tetrions ever, really. We're just a simple deuterium refinery.
Perhaps someone aboard on the bridge here could add any scientific information, elaborate perhaps on what it is we've found. Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
No. Commander, you did an admirable job relaying all that information. Merely that we were interrupted by an artificially generated Tetrion wave, and that after significant work on the part of myself and my team, this is the location that we tracked its origin to.
And yet, Lishka.
I think that's about all there is to say on that.
Can I don't have any...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't have any scientific input, but I would ask Lishka what you and Orions are doing here in Federation space.
Our business. That's all.
You have a permit to operate from the Federation?
You've come such a long way. You must be hungry. Why don't I invite
Actually, three of us just had lunch.
Actually, yeah, I just gorged myself.
We are quite the opposite.
Let's call it dessert and drinks then. I'm sure I can arrange something. Why don't you lot come on down, be my guests for the evening, and we can hash out these missions and details. And in return, I'll call off Grill and his little boy band.
One moment, Lishka. May I put you on hold as I don't know what the word is.
I'm unused to
mute
it,
the screen.
Yes.
Cool.
Let me thank you for your
you.
generous offer, Lishka.
Of
Give me
course.
1 moment as I consult with my crew and
take
my
two.
captain.
I hit mute on the call.
Mute.
Absolutely not.
I put her in a breakout room.
Commander, unless they were to disable our systems, as I said, as it stands, those fighters are no threat to us. She is operating clearly illegally. Mm-hmm. She should come aboard this ship if she wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should still send someone down there, though. Frankly, I'm curious about what on earth they've cobbled together that could have set forth this wave, and now I can't find it. That's what's got me curious.
I do believe we stand to learn more by going down to the planet than having her come up here.
We don't know how many Orions she has under her thumb, and she's a Romulan.
It does.
Yes,
seem
so we'll bring
might be
phasers.
It does seem, though, having the ship here as it is, we are vulnerable either way. If they were to use this, however they're making these Tetrion beams, manipulating them, we are susceptible to them, whether we sit here and we have her aboard, or we go on down to the planet proper.
Agreed. Commander?
I agreed. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Commander, I suggest that we institute a check-in protocol with Starfleet headquarters.
I was about to suggest the same thing.
That we will check in with them on a regular basis, and that if we do fail to check in at any point, that they will send reinforcements to our location.
That is a brilliant idea.
Speaking of, has anyone seen the captain?
And I hit the armchair, and I Commander Yarin to Captain Spock.
Spock here.
We are currently in conversation with a Romulan named Lishka, inviting us down to the refinery on this crystal island aboard the planet, in exchange for us coming down. She says that she will call off her little Orion fighter pilot boy. I've consulted with the bridge crew, and we believe we could go down and meet with her, but we would like to establish a check-in with Starfleet Command. However, you are, of course, the captain, so if you would like to decide otherwise, I leave it to you.
Fascinating. Proceed, Commander. I will return to the bridge momentarily.
Thank you, Captain.
And he clicks out. Yep.
All right. Green light from Captain Spock. Let us put this lovely woman back on screen and accept her offer. Is there anything anyone else would like to add when I put her back on screen?
No, I was just going to ask how you talk to the captain so well. He seems frustrated by me whenever I speak. We can talk about that later. I'll press the button.
On screen.
Aye, Commander. And on.
Lishka.
Yes, ma'am.
We will graciously accept your offer to visit you aboard or down below on the planet if you would kindly call off your Orions and whatever guns you have pointed against Starship.
She smiles and she presses a button on an unseen console, and I don't know if you can see them on your view screen at the moment, but sensors at least indicate that the ships do retreat back to the planet's surface.
I just flash a subtle thumbs up to Commander.
Done, Commander. Anything else?
No funny business. Sorry, I don't say
That'll show her.
That's our job.
I'm sorry. I don't say that, but I wanted to say that.
That's some Starfleet hardball diplomacy right there.
I'm such a diplomat. Anything. I'm sorry. I'm just not okay. And so she says, I trust that we will be received in kind, and you will show us all the hospitality that one would assume to have when visiting a planet.
Yes, Commander. All of it. See you soon.
Brilliant.
And she winks out.
Oh, this is such a bad idea, but also it's not a bad idea. We need to go down. So this is what I say. I say, listen, I don't trust this Romulan. Like Maegor, I hear you. I don't trust her. But I do trust in our crew, in our team here. And if we work together, we'll go figure out whatever the fuck this lady's got going on.
Aye, Commander.
I command.
Inspiring words, says Spock from the back of the bridge. You hadn't even heard him come in.
Oh shit! Fuck! No, she says, like, under her breath.
Very well put indeed.
Thank you, Captain.
Now, prepare your boarding party. I believe you're expected. The Rolde players present Ex Astris, Star Trek Adventures, a real play Star Trek Adventures podcast starring the vocal talents of Courtney St. Gelais, Ian Helmick, Chingwe Padraig Sullivan, Emily Morcos, and Sawyer Paine. Special thanks to Jaclyn Hodgkins for our cover art, Symbol Bird and the Free Music Archive for our theme music, and to you, our listeners. For updates and ways to get involved, please consider following us on Twitter or Patreon, which you can find in this episode's info. Live long and prosper.